Alright guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we will be looking at how to read or how to work with different files. So let me just make this working with multiple files, files, different types. Okay, so this is what we want to see. We want to see how to work with multiple files, different files. So far we have been creating our own data frame, our own data sets. What if we have existing file? Not even what if. In the reality of it, we will have existing files, right? So it could be maybe want to do web scraping, right? We'll go online, we want to grab a particular data, or we have an actual file we want to work with, or want to connect to an SQL file, okay? Or want to connect to an SQL database. But for now, in this particular one, let's see how to connect with multiple files. Okay, let's jump into it right away. So we'll be using a data set that has if it has varieties, right? So let me just show you the data set first. Now, it's possible that you might remember this data set. That's if if you're not new to this channel, you probably know this data set. We used it in SQL or in Power BI majorly. Yeah, this is the data set we use in Power BI. Similar to it is what we used in SQL before. Similar to it, that means a different version of it. But this particular version is so nice because it has different files, and we probably want to do some merging, some combining, some joining in this file, right? So the link to this file will be in the description below, so you can grab this file. It will come as a zip. All you have to do is what? You right click it. Okay, you select it first, then you right click. Once you download it, so it's going to wait, just wait for that to load, and we want to click on show more options. Okay, or you can click on WinRAR directly here and do extract, but it's better to go to show more options, and then you should get the option for extract all. So once you extract all, it's going to show you a folder. Then when you open it, you'll find these 3 folders in there, and then you can open individual folders to find individual files. Okay, so how do we bring this in to our data or into our Colab environment? We have multiple ways or a few ways of doing it. We can load it to our Google Drive first, so that we can always reuse it. But if we don't want to load it to our Google Drive, let's say it's just a temporary thing to do, so we just want to use it for that particular session, and maybe when we are done with it, we'll save it as a file again, which we have seen earlier, to CSV. We just have to say the variable name, then dot to CSV. I think it's still right here. If we scroll all the way down, right here. Okay, after this hospital data. So yeah, right here we just have to say to CSV. So if we want it to Excel, to whatever it is we want it, Python have all of those options for us. Okay, so let's just see how to quickly load in this data, combine them, and work with them. Just collapse that. All right, so collapse the Anton, and let's see that quickly. So we can make this data available temporarily within our session, right? So you just click on this folder icon on the left, right? And then you see all of the options. You see the option to mount your Google Drive. If you want to upload it to Google Drive, that means so that you can reuse the file again and again, just mount your drive. Then it's possible that Colab will just prompt you to connect your Google Drive to your Colab, right? Which is simple. It's just to allow or accept whatever you're seeing on your screen. You read it, of course, and then you see that Colab is asking you to connect to your Google Drive, asking you for access. Or it can show you a code in here that's from Colab, import this, and then you connect your drive to it. Whichever way, you need to give access to connect a Colab into it. But for the sake of this video, we'll just be using it as a temporary session, so that when this session gets destroyed, if we're not going to ever use that file again, it doesn't just occupy the space in our drive. Okay, so let's go back to the file. So this is what we have, and right here we want to pull all these files, right? So let's start with the customer. I'll open the file, then highlight everything, then I'm just going to dump it like this. So it's just going to be available only for this session, only for this session. Again, I'll dump the rest, go back here, open the products. Don't forget that the product is an XML file. I'll dump it here as well. All right, go back there, and then I want to get the sales file. Well, since the sales is also a CSV file, just like this, I'll just disregard it. I only want to show you how to combine these files, work with them, how to read them. So we're not really doing anything with the data in this particular video, so I will not be showing you how to do this. However, you can drag the two as well, dump it here, and then you connect the two to have a full data set. Okay, because you'll be having exercises to do with it just right after. So now we have all of these files. What I want to do is to copy the file path. I'll say copy path and just paste it in here. So obviously, if this is the file path for the first one, that means I'll just have to change to east, south, west, central, like that. And for the product data, it should be the same, but let me just copy that, copy path, and then I'll paste in here. Okay, so let's import numpy. Pandas as pd rather. So we'll be using pandas to read the data. All right, so execute that, jump to the next cell. So pandas is now available for us. I think I can close this now. So let's write some variables where we're saving all of this. So we can say east or central, then east, then south, then west. Okay, so we'll say pd.read underscore CSV, because this one is a CSV file. And all we have to do is, though as much as we have quite a number of things we can pass in, okay, we can pass in just the file path. You can see first thing here says file path. If we have a separator to pass in, we can also pass it in. See, delimiter, header, does it have header? No, all things like that, we can always do that. So I'll copy this file path, Ctrl C, I'll put it inside the brackets, Ctrl V. So I'll copy this and paste it again, Ctrl C, and I'll change this to east, paste this here. All right, let's make this bigger. Now scroll up a bit. Okay, so this will be what? West or south. This will be south. And finally, we want west. All right. So for the product, so just say copy this, but this time we're reading an XML file, so we'll do read underscore XML. You can see we have Excel option right there as well. So copy this, let's cut it this time and take away all of this. Okay, quotes, quotes. So here we can read all our files and do central.add just to inspect all the files. East, south, west, and product. Okay, let's run this first. Okay, no error. Now comment this out because we run everything. See, we're only getting the last one as usual. So let's comment everything out. /. Okay, and you can see what we have. Our customer ID, customer segment, customer ID, customer name, segment, age, and all the rest of the data. So you can uncheck everything one after the other and run it, you'll have it there. So we can check the data type. Let's see how Python, let's use West this time, .info. If you look at West.info, okay, so age is correctly picked as number, postal code as number. Okay, I think we're good. So it's good to check all of them like that. And we have seen that our product as well. Let me take out the product from here just to inspect it. Okay, and see our product also is successfully loaded. All right, now the idea of this is that this particular data set, for example, the central, east, west, is assumed that each region collected their data separately, but we have the same columns in them. We have the same columns for everything. So that means we can combine all the data. Now, in this case, we don't want to join. We're not necessarily joining because it's still the same customer table. And it's not like we're joining a customer south to customer west, but we want to combine them. In Power BI, we did that as append, where you just stack the data on top of each other. For example, let's say we have 30 customers in the central region. So for east, we want to start at 31. Let's say we have 20 for east. So by 50, 51 we want to start for south. So that's the idea of what we want to do, right? So how do we do that? So we can just create a new variable called customers, and then we can say pd.concat. So with this option, we can combine all the 4 files once and for all. And it is very, very easy to do. Very, very easy to do. So we'll just pass in a list of the variables. So we have central, we have east, we have south, and we have west. Okay, so this is what we have, and we have passed in what we want to concat. We have other options we can add. Okay, but let's just see what this looks like eventually. Let's take this out. We'll just do customers.head. Okay, shift enter. Let's run this. Oh, just like that, we have been able to concatenate the data. So what if we want to actually find out? So let's see where customers. So we just want to filter the data so we can be sure we have all the rest of the data there. So say where customer dot region equal central. Okay, well, this is central, so I want to say east equal east. So I want to grab the head for the east region. So let's see. Okay, good. We have east in there. You can see we have east there. What if we want to grab for west or south first? So just to check that we successfully grabbed all the data. Okay, south. You can see it here. South. Finally, what if we want to grab for west? So you can see we're able to grab all the data. So that means it combined all the data for us. So let's do a grouping and aggregation just to count the number of customers. So we can say customers dot group by. So let's say we're grouping by the region, and then we want to count. Say we want to count the customer ID. How is it written? Customer ID, and that will be a count. Right. So let's check. So you can see, and yes, we now have the total number of customers right there. You can see all of this should give us the total number we have in the original data. Let's check customers.shape. Customers.shape. So this will tell us the number of rows and columns. You can see 793 plus 793 by 9. So we have 793 records, 9 columns. So if you add all of this up, it should give us the same thing. So that means we have been able to combine. Oh, yeah, customer record everything. So we have, if you combine this, that should give us 793. And yes, we have been able to combine all of these files. And yes, we have also been able to read our product data. So with this, we can start doing, we can create a join. That's if we had brought in sales, we can start creating joins and start doing manipulation on a larger scale. And when we are done, we can always export our result out. Okay, we can always export our result out. So let's say we want to ignore index for this. Let's run this. Ignore index. Is that not coming up? We'll pass it in anyway. Now, index. Check concat. Concat should have object arguments. So it has join. The default is outer join. Okay. If we want to do an inner join, we can do that. So ignore index here. So see it right there. So ignore index. We'll say ignore index equals to true. So run that again. Run this again. All right. So you can see now that it's now giving us the correct version. We're not seeing the should I say fake version of what we were seeing earlier. So where's the customer again? I think that's just from actual customer as well. Customers.add. Okay, so everything is nice and I think we're good to go. So now you know how to load in data. If it's an Excel file, you just have to read it that way. Very easy. If you have some sheet names, you can specify them when you're loading it. Say for example, you just have to read the argument, and that's what makes you stand out. That also makes you show that you are actively learning, not just because if the only thing you can do is what you see on the screen, what you see me do, then you have to put in more effort Okay, you should be able to do things on your own, and that's why I show you as much hints and tips as possible. So I'm not holding anything from you. I show you that okay, you can go all the way like this to do this. So let's say, for example, we want to say Excel Excel data frame or sample data. We'll do pd.read underscore Excel. I don't have any Excel file I want to read right now. So just want to show you the argument we get. Okay, so you can see for read Excel, the file path is the first thing. So you can just come here instead. If all of these are, I think there's a place where it explains it one by one. So you can see. So after the file path, sheet name. If you want to pick a particular sheet only, you pass in the sheet name, header, what else? Index column. It's either you pass in the sheet name or you pass in the index column. The index column in this case will be which sheet. You pass it by index. See, you have other options. You can just take a minute, go through it, test things out, run them, and then get a good hang of it. Okay. So with this, you can now load files, work with files, do as much as you need to do. Now, do not forget that this session gets destroyed once these variables disappear once the session gets destroyed. So I'd like you to load in, once you download the file, also bring in your sales data, combine it, and start answering some questions, start doing some analysis. Let's say region-wise analysis. You want to do total revenue by region, total sales by region, number of customer by region, different things like that. You can, and you remember that this data set is actually interesting. I think I'll leave a link to the description below in the Telegram channel where we created some new columns, right? Using this data in Power BI, you can replicate all of those things in Excel, in Python here, and also leave a link to the description to where we created a dashboard for it, so that you can just create you can just answer the questions manually here. So for example, if we do segments by profit, you can also do it segment by profit, not with a chart yet, but you'll be able to write a code to show it. All right, with that and more, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep practicing, and keep practicing.